And Melissa Gomez is from Generation Housing, which is generationhousing.org. Melissa, welcome to the show, Líderes del Futuro. Tell us, what is Generation Housing and what is it that you're working on today?
Hi, Rafael. First of all, thank you for having me here. And I'm the communications coordinator at Generation Housing. And first of all, we are a nonprofit that advocates for sustainable, affordable, and diverse housing here in Sonoma County. And we do this in a few different ways. First of all, we convene and align folks around housing solutions, both at the leadership level and also citizen level, by collaborating with organizations to increase funding sources. Another thing we do is we educate and engage our community to really teach people about the intersection between housing and the quality of life factors. And while we do this, we also create a community action network that can further advocate for housing in the future and really grow the people that know about housing and make it so everyone knows about this housing issue. Um, we also endorse and champion pro-housing policies and developments around the county. Um, and something else that we have taken on is research. Our great policy and advocacy director, Jesus Guzman, is building a research team and of PhD candidates and MVP second year students who are doing real research to be able to make data-driven um, decisions in order to better know how to use our money and be smart about our money and leverage more money around housing as well and know what we need to do and in specifically in our community. Um, the main thing that we do at Generation Housing is a broad public bill building campaign, and this is one thing that I'm one of the ones in charge of this. And pretty much here we are right now. We are going around the county and asking people for their housing experiences, whether that is good, bad, ugly, anything, just so we really get a sense of what the community is in need of and what the actual things we need to advocate for. Um, yes, and what we use this for is to, like I said, really advocate for the needs that people need in our community and to kind of change the understanding of housing and affordable housing in general too. Sometimes people think of affordable housing and they have like a negative connotation to it, and especially those people that are like, yes, I want affordable housing, but not in my backyard. Kind of really changing that mindset and showing them and really teaching um, that this is what housing is and this is the actual problem and this is what the solutions look like. And also for the experience collection campaign that I just talked about, um, pretty much just gathering information from people all over the county. So um, yeah.
It sounds to me like, again, research is essential in order to educate the community. I think that the Latinx community, everybody suffers when you have to rent, and from one month to the next, you are getting, a letter that says either, you know what, we're gonna renovate the place, you'll be able to come back, don't worry about it. And this happened in Hillsburg a few years ago. Then they said, just go out in a couple of months, we'll fix it up. And then when they tried to come back, it was like three times the price because they were targeting people who could afford that level of housing. And then you have our Latinx community who tends to be victimized on a regular basis simply because they don't understand policy, they don't understand the law. And as a result of that, they end up homeless or they end up again living 15 and 20 people in a household, which creates some very negative experiences. And often it can be very negative psychologically when you have three and four children living or sleeping in one room at different stages of development, physical and emotional. And again, this can create a lot of problem. And so it sounds to me like you are doing research. How can people participate in this research?
Yes, we are doing research. And for the experience collection campaign, we are actually taking in forms people can fill out at generation.com dot generationhousing.org/, we are Gen H. And kind of it's a small brief form that asks for your information and how many years you lived here and like what you want to see changed in Sonoma County. And after that, we follow up with an email, and we schedule a short, either a phone call or a Zoom interview, 30 minutes, to talk more about your housing experience.
And again, for people who are interested in doing this, generationhousing.org we are Gen H. And again, it's essential that this organization that is dedicating the time, the energy, the resources to be able to support people in our community who are renters and again, maybe facing eviction in a few months after the pandemic is done. We need to hear your experience. They need to hear your experiences. Generationhousing.org we are Gen H. If people are having trouble with the website or they just have other questions before filling out that interest form, who can they get a hold of and how can they do it?
Yes, they can email me, Melissa. It's Melissa at generationhousing .org.
Okay, so again, Melissa at generationhousing.org. And it's important again that people participate. I want to invite you to keep coming back to the show in the future to one, continue to advertise this, but also to give us updates. Are people participating? It is essential that low income community members participate. It is essential that our African American, Native American, and Latinx community members participate in this because they are the ones that for the longest time in a racist environment that we live in have been excluded from being able to own property for many, many decades. And with that, I think that this is the organization that is going to focus its energy in being able to support the community. Again, generationhousing.org is the main website. Generationhousing.org/ we are Gen H. This is Melissa Gomez. Melissa, I want to thank you for being with us today. And again, the invitation is open. You can come back and we can continue this dialogue in the future.
Thank you so much, Rafael.
All right, you take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.